Shover. I'm pastor of Christ the Redeemer Church, east side of town at the old Chandler building. I've been here 3 years, and the first thing I was told when I was considering moving here was, the great thing about Pella is it's a great place to raise your kids. Mm-hmm. That's like the number one thing that people say. You put that on like the billboard. Great place to raise your kids.
Yeah.
Is it? We'd like to keep it that way. I don't know how we would interpret these laws here. Iowa Code 728.5, public indecent exposure in certain establishments. So this is concerning certain establishments. An owner, manager, or person who exercises direct control over a place of business required to obtain a sales tax permit shall be guilty of a serious misdemeanor under any of the following circumstances. And these are the ones that apply, I think. B, if such person allows or permits the exposure of the genitals or buttocks or female breast of any person who acts as a waiter or waitress. So our person under discussion here, I guess they are not a waiter or waitress, so maybe that doesn't apply to them. C, if such person allows or permits the exposure of the genitals or female breast, nipple of any person who acts as an entertainer, whether or not the owner of the place of business in which the activity is performed employs or pays the compensation to such person to perform such activity, well then maybe that doesn't apply either. D, if such person allows or permits any person to remain in or upon the place of business who exposes to public view the person's genitals, pubic hair, or anus. Now, absent from that, of course, is the breast. So, perhaps there is a way you can snake around all of this. You can say, none of this applies to our circumstance today. Maybe, maybe not. Iowa Code 709.9, indecent exposure, says, a person who exposes the person's genitals or pubes to another, not the person's spouse, or who commits a sex act in the presence of or view of a third person commits a serious misdemeanor if, 1, the person does so to arouse or satisfy the sexual desire of either party, and 2, the person knows or reasonably should know that the act is offensive to the viewer. Now again, you might say, well, that doesn't pertain to this situation. This person wasn't doing those specific things for the purpose of arousing another person. However, it was very offensive to the viewer, was it not?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Amen.
Pella City Code 4603, contributing to delinquency. And here's where I think it really hits home, guys. It is unlawful for any person to encourage any child under 18 years of age to commit any act of delinquency.
Yes.
Are you encouraging young children under the age of 18
Yes.
to commit acts of delinquency by allowing them to expose their breasts in public? Is it acceptable at the public pool? Then is it acceptable in the public square?
Right.
Could this person, could all of these women walk around with their tops off during tulip time and say, hey, that's just fine. The neighbor across the street, he's a runner. He runs with his shirt off. He's a man, he's physically fit, no one says anything to him. Why? Because he doesn't have female breasts. But if a female were to run down the street, I'm certain the cops would be called.
Yes, they would be.
But not in the public pool. Is there some reason that around that gate that no longer the law applies? Does the law not apply? I mean, I'm asking you now, what is the law?
Yeah.
What is the public delinquency law, or the law for indecent exposure? Do you not care? Do you not care? I spoke with this gentleman here today. I wanted to get an answer from him. He gave me the runaround and read me the Facebook response. He just quoted to me 5 times in a row. He refused to give me an answer. Is this what we want Pella to be?
No.
No, it's not. You hear? It's not. And, mentioned already, but consider, because once you allow one thing to happen, it absolutely will fall on the other foot. If you allow a young female to defy all laws of biological science, logic, rationality, natural order, of everything that we know to be good, right, and true in the world, and we cover our eyes and say, no longer is truth anymore.
Yep.
If you do that, then you have just opened up the gate to men to do that. And the men can then go into the female locker room, and again, they can expose their genitals to our daughters.
Yep.
Is that what you want? Is that what you want for your granddaughters? Because that's what you're allowing,
Yes.
ultimately. And if not that, then consider further, my last point, the danger that this is putting this person in and future people. What if this encourages other young people to get the wild-haired idea that they can go around and expose their breasts wherever they want? And who's to say that there might be some unsavory folk when they do that at some other place, who might have other bad intentions, who then might take opportunity to violate such person, because now they have opportunity, their breasts are being exposed, and who knows the way that crazy people think, they might do something about that, they might act upon that. So by allowing this to continue, I think you are contributing to, what does the law say? Contributing to it is unlawful for any person to encourage any child under 18 years of age to commit any act of delinquency. You're all guilty.
Yep.
You're all guilty.